you want to know exactly how good Arknights Endfield is doing? Do you want to know just how big Arknights Endfield has become? How they've hit numbers that nobody expected them to hit? Well, that's what we're here today to talk about. Also, if you're interested, I'm streaming this every single day this week, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this YouTube channel and Twitch. Now let's go ahead and talk about it. I've been hyping Arknights Endfield for God knows how long, and the game is finally released. It almost seems surreal at this point. It was announced years ago. It has gone through numerous different phases, multiple different tests, and honestly, despite some people not being happy with the gacha system, the game has ultimately been very well received. You look on social media, there are hundreds of thousands of tweets made in the last several hours. There are millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of views across thousands, tens of thousands of different tweets. Social media outside of Twitter, Reddit, is filled with messages, threads, people conversing, people sharing tips, blueprints, everything. And the game has it has taken off. It was an interesting decision releasing it on the 21st or 22nd of the month, because there were going to be those weird people that take the gacha revenue charts as the gospel and as an undeniable fact. So they're going to look at like just, what, 10 days worth of revenue, speculative revenue, and be like, oh, the game did terribly, which means it's not a very good game, it's not very successful. Genshin Impact better, Wuthering Waves better, whatever other games, OG Arknights better, when the reality is the first 10 days are just that, the first 10 days. We're not going to know whether or not Arknights Endfield ultimately ends up being a success until, what, 6 months, a year later, once version 2.0 hits. If y'all remember, Wuthering Waves was doing okay. That was like, I think, $12 million on average via the speculative revenue website. And then now it's averaging double that. And that was after 2.0. So Arknights Endfield, might make 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars in its first 40 days, factoring in the first 10 days of January. But ultimately, I think whether or not the game is a success is going to depend on how they handle the first several patches and how they ultimately handle the follow-up major patch. If you've played Arknights, you know that the game doesn't start off like incredible. It has a bit of a curve where it starts you off, it introduces you to some of the characters, and then the first few chapters are kind of establishing the world, kind of establishing the characters and their unique personalities. And then after that, after a certain point in the story, it just goes from, a decent game to infinity and beyond. It is an unbelievable experience the further you get through it. A lot of people that are going into Arknights Endfield aren't going to understand just how great OG Arknights is in terms of storytelling, disregarding the tower defense gameplay style. But maybe this will change their mind. Maybe this will, in turn, convince more people to go try Arknights out to see how Arknights and Arknights Endfield are connected. How some of the characters can exist within Arknights, but also have a variant existing in Arknights Endfield. I played through both beta tests. I played through sponsored showcases at Gamescom. I played through a sponsored showcase at Tokyo Game Show. And every time I've been impressed. The game has continued to get progressively better. And everyone I've talked to has said the same. Everyone that seems to be posting, well, a large number of people across social media seem to be echoing the same thing. The vast majority of people, minus the incredibly vocal group that just hate everything, like the R-Gacha Gaming subreddit, they are all enjoying it. There's a significant portion of players out there that love the game, that love the character models, that enjoy the story, that are enjoying the base building or the blueprint system where you don't have to necessarily engage in the blueprint or in the base building. And it has been overwhelmingly positively received. It has its issues, 100%. But after the first few hours playing, I can say with utmost certainty, based off of everything I've seen online, based off of all the content creators I've talked to, the community that we have, people are happy. They are very happy. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. The game is absolutely destroying the records that they thought they'd set. The game is reaching more people than they ever anticipated reaching, and the game is just good. It's just successful, and I have no doubt in my mind that moving into the future, it is going to be even more successful than it is now. A year ago, the big three gacha games were, or not even a year ago, 6 months ago, the big three gacha games were Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves. And then now, if you include Zenless Zone Zero into that, then now they're going to be the big five. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, and Arknights Endfield. Although with the size of certain gacha games out there, or the popularity like Love and Deep Space, Fate Grand Order, I'd say there's a solid like Big 10 gacha games. And I have no doubt Arknights Endfield is going to solidify itself at the top. Not necessarily number one, but with the success of Arknights, I have no doubt that they're going to secure a spot up there because everyone enjoys it. Everyone's been loving it. Their tweets are absolutely popping off. Everyone is playing it. Everyone is streaming it. Everyone is creating content around it. I've done multiple videos that have gotten 50,000 views in a day. That these beginner guides and tier lists are actually performing better than the Wuthering Waves ones I did, the Celisora ones I did, the Black Beacon ones I did. There are more people interested in Arknights Endfield right now than I think at any point in the entire history of the game. And that's because everyone is talking about it. It doesn't matter whether or not the people that are playing day one are going to continue playing indefinitely. Right now, the reach for this game is insane. Because a year and a half ago, before Wuthering Waves launched, Wuthering Waves was the game. You know, the game that could combat Genshin Impact. And you know what? Now, there are more games that exist that can also potentially combat Genshin Impact. But now games don't have to just combat Genshin Impact, they also have to combat Wuthering Waves. And if Arknights Endfield becomes as big of a success as I'm sure they're hoping it does, then future games, Neverness to Everness, Azure Premilia, they're also going to have to combat Genshin, Wuwa, and then Endfield. It is a very different playing field now than it was a year ago, 2 years ago. The power has shifted from Hoyo at the top and kind of dominating everything to Hoyo some months being at the top, other months being absolutely dominated by Love and Deep Space, sometimes Uma Musume, sometimes Fate Grand Order. So there has been a titanic shift in the big games, the collection of big gacha games, and Arknights Endfield is going to no doubt be part of that. Part of the reason that gacha is going to go even more this year, why the reach for gacha, total reach for gacha is so large, and why the genre is showing absolutely no signs of slowing down. Kudos to Hypergriff and Arknights Endfield. You guys are doing phenomenal work, and I cannot wait to play more of your game. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you are not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.